Good morning, thank you very much for joining me. Today it is my monthly book club video. For new viewers who may not be aware of this fact, I run a monthly book club. It's linked to a Facebook group which is linked in the description box below, and we read a book chosen by a different person every month, and then we discuss it within the Facebook group, and I make a video with my answers to the questions that we set. So this month we were reading The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. It wasn't quite what I expected, but I did enjoy it. So without further ado, let me get into the 5 questions which I have set for this book. And the first one is, did you like the book? Why or why not? Now, this book is marketed, I guess the word is, or described, or whatever, one of those things, as a psychological thriller, and I definitely would not call this a psychological thriller. I feel like that is a very overused term these days. Everything, whether or not it's a psychological thriller, does seem to be described as a psychological thriller, and I felt that this was more of a family drama. I really enjoyed it. I found it very much a page turner. I was looking forward to getting back to it every time I put it down, and yeah, I read it in a couple of days. I thought it was a good, very easy read. Yes, I would give it, I gave it 4 stars, but I would say it was really, for me, more 3.5 stars. You can't do half stars on Goodreads, but yeah, I would say a solid 7 out of 10 for me, this book, so that's good. I mean, I didn't even manage to read last month's book, what with all the coronavirus and uncertainty, and I lost my reading mojo for a little while, so it's very nice to have it back this month. And question 2 is, how well did the author build the world and the characters? Now, I felt that she did really well with, I'm assuming the author is a she. I'm pretty sure she is. She is? I'm pretty sure it's a lady. I'm going to assume it's a lady unless I find out otherwise. I thought she did a really good job of this. I could really see in my mind's eye the descriptions of the party, and more so the world and the house they lived in, and I felt it was really well described. So yeah, I could certainly see the world that was created. God, there's a giant bumblebee outside my window. That's huge. Sorry, very distracted then. I thought the characters were quite well done. I'm not sure I found them entirely believable, the characters and their actions, although there's a question coming up on that shortly. So yeah, I thought the world was well created, the actual environment and the descriptions of the places. I felt maybe less so with the characters, that there seemed, yeah, not brilliantly with the characters, although they did come to life for me. Yeah, I suppose she did describe them because they did come to life quite well. So the next question is number 3. Did you find it believable that both Livia and Adam kept their secrets from each other for so long? And this was a part of the book that I really struggled with. I felt, particularly with Adam, I thought it was so unbelievable to me that you wouldn't tell your wife. I mean, their marriage is described as very good and solid, although it had a rocky start at the beginning, and he hadn't been the best father at the beginning, but I mean, they've been together for 20 odd years now, haven't they? More than that probably. So you know, you're led to believe that they have a very happy marriage, and the fact that he wouldn't tell his wife that he thought his daughter had died in a plane crash for the best part of 24 hours, it was just so unbelievable to me. I really struggled to believe that. It became almost farcical that he still wasn't telling her, in my mind, and because it went on for so long like that, I kept thinking that she was going to turn up and there was going to be some sort of further twist like that, but no, apparently not. As for Livia not telling Adam that she found out that his best friend's brother, middle-aged man, was having an affair with their teenage daughter, again, I didn't find that very believable. I feel like maybe if they're in a situation where they were separated or didn't get on well, or there was some issue in their marriage, I think that possibly that they wouldn't, Livia wouldn't have told Adam, but it really didn't sit easily with me. I couldn't envisage a situation, although I thought it was well written, I just didn't find that particularly believable. I'm not saying that took away from my enjoyment in the story very much, but I didn't find those actions believable. I struggled sort of on an ongoing basis all the way through with that level of deceit, I guess I would think of it as. Question number 4 is, what did you think of the subplot with Livia's parents? Did this add anything to the story? I found this a little bit odd. I guess the thing that it was perhaps supposed to add to the plot or the story was that Livia had invited her parents, so it gave even more importance to this party that she'd set so much store by, and she was hoping they would turn up. But then there was the issue that the mother randomly turned up without having contacted her at all before, and the father was dead and had died shortly beforehand, and Livia didn't seem to have, I think, bearing in mind we were led to believe that she was so cut up about her, but even 20 years old, about this failure of her relationship with her parents, that I think she would have had a lot more of a reaction to the fact her father was dead, rather than, oh well, never mind, at least I'm seeing my mother again, you know, she's coming round tomorrow afternoon. I found that quite unbelievable as well, to be honest. So I didn't really think that that subplot was necessary. I thought the story would have played out perfectly well without it, but I guess it did add a bit of padding to the fact that she was so involved in or so desperate for this party and so desperate for it to be a success. I guess the relationship with her parents was something about that, but then that in itself led me to believe even more that she should have had more of a reaction to her father having recently died and just finding out at her party. Also, would her mother really turn up at the party with the news that her father's dead? Would you do that at your daughter's 40th birthday? I'm not convinced she would, but and then the mother didn't even come into the party, but all very strange, I found that anyway. And the final question, number 5, is, was the ending satisfying? Yes and no. I mean, you step to a year ahead, don't you? And they're mending their lives and still together, getting over things, and there's little sparks of brightness finally, sort of coming through after Marnie's death. But I found the situation with Rob, whereby they'd never really had it out with him, had they? The fact he was having an affair with their teenage daughter, that fizzled out. I wanted a little bit more closure. I wanted an explanation. I wanted some. I wanted him to be sorry for what he'd done. He just stayed with Ali, and I felt a bit sorry for Ali in all of this. She didn't. Not only has she got multiple sclerosis, she's got a lying, cheating scumbag husband, and she doesn't even know. And how's that good for anybody? You know, how's that? You know, who's to say he won't do it again? And if she ever found out that her best friends and, you know, everybody in her close circle knew about this situation, how would she then feel about that, you know, if it came out years down the line that he was doing it again? I felt that was a very unfinished part of the story. I liked the fact that Livia and Adam, you know, were getting over the death of their daughter, and I thought that was well written, and they were seeing the light again after a dark year. But yeah, I wanted Rob to be held more accountable for his actions. I really did. And an explanation. So yeah, all that having been said, I feel like I've just really criticised the book, but despite all of those issues, I did really enjoy it, and as I said, a solid 7 out of 10 for me. So the questions will be in the Facebook group today that I've just answered, so I'm really looking forward to reading what everybody else thinks about this book. I'm going to come back to you later in the month, because I'm recording this the day that I finished or the day after I finished the book, and we haven't yet voted for next month's choice, so I will come back to you any second now in your time and a couple of weeks in my time. And just like that, I'm back and it's a couple of weeks later. We have finished voting for our read for next month, and it is going to be The Emerald Affair. It was me whose turn it was. No. It was my turn to select 3 books for us to choose from this month. And we haven't yet read anything particularly historical, so I chose 3 books, all with a historical. One of them was dual time frame, one part of which was historical. The other 2 were historical. And this one is called The Emerald Affair. It is set in the aftermath of the First World War. It takes place in Scotland, I believe, or it starts in Scotland. And I'm looking forward to reading it. So that is linked below for if anybody who wants to read along with us, please do feel free to do so. I've probably already said in the beginning of this video, but it's a long time since I filmed it, so I can't remember. The book club Facebook group is also linked below, so do come along and join us if you have some interest in joining our monthly book club. And I hope everybody's had a good reading month. I've certainly got my reading mojo back during April. I haven't read as much as I normally would perhaps, but that's okay. I am back reading again. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.